Alrighty then, another unboxing with Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com.
Where you can see it before you buy it.
We're talking about DS18. We like it loud, and this is one of the select amps. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done it, and hit the bell so you know when we have another video pop up. And on each video, we try to get some donations for some kind of charity. Right now, we're collecting for breast cancer awareness. That'll be up if you're on YouTube watching this. You can drop $2, $5, or whatever. But we appreciate it. Facebook, we don't have that, but you can go to our YouTube to watch it. This right here is the S1100.2. This is under 120 bucks. It is a simple 2-channel amp. I'm not even going to talk about max wattage. Let's talk about real wattage. 80 watts times 2-channel at 2 ohms. 60 watts times 2-channel at 4 ohms. And then bridged is a 4 ohm output, and you can get 150 watts out of it. So not the biggest of amp, but under $120, you get something that is dependable and sounds really good. Let's open this thing up. First thing I want you to notice is how small this thing is. I mean, if you're running some, I don't know, loudspeakers, coaxials, whatever, you can pretty much put this anywhere. We'll get some actual measurements in a second here. This does come fused with, looks like a 25 ATC. Let me grab, so this thing is only, this ain't even long enough. Let me grab a bigger one. All right, we have a longer one here. So this thing from tab to tab for mounting is 7.55, so just over 7.5 inches, and you're only 5.5 inches, and you are only a little over. Let me measure that again because that seems really small, but it is. 1.25 inches. So this is a super small amplifier that can be mounted anywhere. That's the first cool thing. Plus, I always go off of returns. We don't get really many returns off of the select amp. It's an inexpensive but pretty durable amplifier. It doesn't need a lot of power amperage wise, so it's pretty efficient. You have basic on here, low pass, high pass, and full range. 40 to 400 hertz and a gain control with some regular RCAs. You can put 4 gauge, probably overkill, but bigger the better for power and ground. And you get a good 14 gauge for the speaker terminal. There's not much to talk about. This is a inexpensive, cheap amp that could run, obviously I wouldn't put it on a subwoofer unless you have like a small single 6 or something. But running mids and highs, 2-channel would be great. I think you get plenty of power to work those, and with the space, or let's just say I got a better idea. You want to separate tweeters. You might be using a DSP and you want a tri-amp or bi-amp. You could run this amp just on your drivers or your tweeters. Go out of your DSP, set the frequency control on that, and then have a different amp for your mid-range, vice versa. There's so many applications being that this thing is so small and it's got some power. I don't know. Let's hook it up. I'm curious to see what this would actually do on 2 big woofers. And it's only 4 ohm technically, but I think I have that wired up to 2 ohm. Let's go take a look. When hooking up an amplifier, always do the ground first. If you don't, the amplifier might try to pull its ground through the RCAs, for your radio, not good. So people ask all the time, what should I hook up first? Always hook up a ground when you're doing a battery or anything. This way you're supplying proper ground. Ground is just as important as power. In my opinion, even more important. Maybe jump there for a second. All right, we got this thing kicking. Hold on, let me pause this. So that is an 800 watt RMS subwoofer. We're hooking up one coil. So let's go ahead and hit this play. Whoa! That is doing something, y'all. I'll tell you what, it's moving that sub pretty damn good. Okay, big Jeff cam on. You can see we got it just clipping on the, that's the clip light. So, I mean, we're getting the full power out of this amp. 4 ohms bridged. 800 watt RMS. Pretty beefy sub, and it is playing it right now. Okay, here we are. I said, screw it. Let's hook this thing up and see what SMD says it does to this big subwoofer. So I'm going to turn this up. We're getting over 400 watts steady out of this thing at 4 ohms. Now, this was rated to be a 150 watt bridged amp, and you are seeing it with your own eyes for $120. You're getting 400 watts steady without clipping. Now, what I don't get though is the meter showing 1 ohm, because this is a dual, let me double check. I think it's a dual 4 ohm, and we're only using one coil. So that is a little weird. I'll have to look into that. But let me bring this back over to you all. Okay, back over here. So check this out. This was doing over 400 watts RMS steady, bridged at 4 ohm. I think if you had a 250 watt kicker comp and you weren't having to push the 400 watts non-stop, I think you'd be able to do that with that amp. Pretty impressive for 150 watt rating to move that 800 watt 12-inch subwoofer like it did. And it's like lukewarm. It didn't go into ProTech. It didn't shut down. The clipping light, which I forgot to tell you all, has a clipping light on here, which is flashing. Man, big shout out to DS18 Select Amp for one of their most inexpensive amps to produce over 400 watts RMS bridged. Man, this would definitely run the heck out of some nice mid-range loudspeakers, mid-bass, probably even mid-bass. Plenty of power. Check it out on bigjeffaudio.com. I have no problem thinking this thing will run a decent 8-inch woofer, or even like a smaller 500 watt 12-inch, 10-inch. That blew my mind. There's some power outs in there. It was moving that sub real good. The amp wasn't getting warm. Again, made for, you know, some mids and highs, but definitely if you had a small, lower power handling subwoofer, like a comp kicker, Black Diamond S series, you know, your small 200 to 500 watt, this would do it for sure. That blew my mind at 4 ohms. I didn't think it was going to move that subwoofer like that. Great unboxing. $120 amp that is tiny and produces some power, and it was taking it. So, man, great time. This is Big Jeff with another unboxing. Make sure you hit that like button. Leave a comment. Tell me what we could do different. I mean, that was pretty cool. Somebody just tried. I had no idea what was going to happen, and I'm stoked about it. Leave a comment, subscribe, and share. And I'm going to see you on the next one, man. We're going to keep doing stuff like this. I'll see you soon.